Hey, welcome back to Redbanditracing. In this video, we have another unboxing, and there's no point to build suspense. As you guys seen the title, it is the Kraton 6S EXB version 2. And this is said by a lot of people to be one of the best bashers of the last few years. We're definitely going to put that to the test. And later in this video, we are going to run it, but this will not be the first bash. That will come later. But yeah, let's unbox this car and see what it's all about. All right, let's get this thing unboxed. All right, let's get this out. Here we have the Kraton 6S. Let's get this other box out of the way. Some things are falling around in there. Yeah, but here we have it. This looks really strong. Just looking from the back of the box, you can see every improvement, and I do believe everything in red is all EXB. All that red aluminum you see is all EXB. They have a list of upgrades. I've been to their website. I saw their key improvements. There was 20, maybe even 30 things listed. They listed tons of things on this car to make it better, more durable. And I think the goal of this car was to rival out Traxxas with the Sledge. And a lot of people say they didn't do it. A lot of people said they did do it. This is a really good rivalry. And this might be one of the best bashers ready to run. And I'm really excited to run it. This thing out of the box. Ooh. Yeah, so the tires do not come on it. This is a new tread pattern. This isn't for the normal backflips. These are the D boots. I do like the track pattern. It looks pretty good. It's really simple. I really hope these give just as much rotation as the backflips, because if they do, this will be a really good basher. You have your support card. We'll hang on to this. Looks like it is an actual card. It's like a little, it's like a Pokemon card type of thing. It's a collectible. Has a remote. It is drivable with one hand. That's what I do like about Arrma. They do that a lot more than Traxxas does. A lot of adjustment knobs. I'll get into all that later. I really do like how Arrma does their remotes. And if you guys look, there is an A/B switch. I have not heard of that yet before, so we'll get into that. And now we have the actual car. All right, so first we do have the parts and manual bag. Let's see what is inside. Here's all of your parts manual. Yeah, this is just basic for all RC cars. You have your sticker set. Weird how similar Traxxas and Arrma are. They seem to do the exact same things. We do have some extra shims for the gear mesh. Here are your tools. Yeah, I gotta give it to them. These are way better tools than what Traxxas gives you. Looks like 17, 10, and 8mm hex. Does come with your batteries. Here is, I think, this is your high-speed gearing and some extra gears. I think you also swap these in when you're going for high speed. So yeah, now let's get the car out, and I'm gonna throw the tires on, and we're gonna see all the inside and see their improvements of the V1. All right, let's get this body off. I'm gonna peel this off. This is a really nice paint design. I like the black on red. It just looks really nice. All the EXB symbols all over it. Get these body clips off. My God. There we go. They're on really tight, which is probably a good thing. All right, so let's go over some of the big upgrades since the version 1 with the EXB parts included. And now the biggest one, obviously, are these bulkheads. These bulkheads just look like they can take a beating. These look so strong, and they're both on the front and the rear. These shock towers look a lot stronger too. And even these shock caps got a big upgrade. They are all everything is aluminum. The pivot balls, if you can see, they are tipped with the EXB type of aluminum. Then you have all that center chassis brace, I mean, rods, top and rear. These look really thick. This is actually really good. They look like they're not going to break at all. The servo saver is also aluminum. The mesh for the motor mount, all that stuff is all aluminum. Just everything that could break looks like it got a big upgrade. And even the chassis was another really big thing that got an upgrade. This looks way stronger and is said to be way stronger than all the other Arrma chassis. But the biggest thing, in my opinion, are the arms. They said the arms got a big upgrade. And Arrma was kind of known for having glass arms before. And these EXB arms are meant to be the solution. And a lot of people say it was a really good upgrade. Alright, so the motor is a Spectrum Firma 4074 2050 kV motor. It also does come with the heatsink and the fan. So the receiver is an SR6200A DSMR receiver with an AVC. I don't know what the AVC is yet, but I'm going to research that. And the ESC is a Spectrum Firma 150A V2 smart waterproof ESC with IC5 connectors. And the servo is a Spectrum S665 steel gear waterproof servo with 270 ounce of torque with 7.4 volts. That's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. All right, so next up, let's do the batteries. And if you guys don't know, this is a 6S truck. So this will take two 3S, and you can also run it on two 2S, and I believe you can also run it on a 4 or a 6S battery. And it does use straps. A lot of people like the clipless of Traxxas. Some people think the straps are more secure. It's just whatever one you like more. And this looks very well secure. You can tell, oh, didn't know that. So this can adjust. I'm guessing that is for a bigger 6S battery. I don't know how big some of those get. It does come with two different straps, one for the top, one horizontal, one vertical. We are running our two Traxxas batteries. We do have our IC5 connectors, and it does come with a jumper. So if you guys are running a single 4S, you're going to need this on the other cable. Let's get these plugged in, and let's get all the batteries in. So one thing to note with Traxxas batteries, since the cable is in the middle, it's not going to be completely firm. It's not going to fly out probably, most likely, because the strap does hit in the middle. Arrma batteries, the cable's typically on one side or the other, so the cable can go right down the middle, but it can't because of the cable. So we're just going to load these up, and hopefully they don't fly out. I don't think they will, like I said, but just to make sure. All right, so the bottom one has to go on first, so we can tighten that one. I think we can tighten it from this one too, maybe. Yep. Bring that one over. That one, bring that one over. Then get the one from the side. Get that all the way tight. Tuck that underneath. I mean, there's a little bit of movement, but I don't think it's going to be too bad. I will say I was a little bit spoiled by the way Traxxas does their battery tray without the straps, just the clips of the clip-in. But this one isn't bad. This one doesn't look like it's ever going to come undone like Traxxas does occasionally. But with Traxxas batteries, it just doesn't look promising. But it's very little movement, so I think we'll be fine. Let's get this all booted up. I do have to adjust this tire because if this one's straight, this one's pointed out just a little bit. Get this loosened out, and we'll start. All right, let's get these batteries plugged in. I'm gonna have these underneath the body post, just so it's not out by the center drive shaft. That looks all secured. Let's get this thing going. All right, so the button is in the back. Beep when it's on. The power button's on the side of the ESC. Twitch. Oh my God. That's a really good servo. I know a lot of people are saying this is one of the best RTR servos. All right, so for all the remote switches and toggles, I'm going off their website because it is a lot to remember. So the top knob is listed as H. That is your throttle trim. The second one is your steering trim. Then the next one down is going to be your brake rate, and then your steering rate. So steering rate is how far they will allow the tires to fully go out to turn, and the brake rate is how powerful you are going to brake. Then for your switches, the top switch is your smart battery indicator. I'm not completely sure what that is. I know that is for the battery, but I don't know why you would toggle that on or off. Next one is your throttle limit. So if you're handing the remote off to someone, there it is. If they're new to the hobby, you can limit how much throttle you can give them, how much power. So the one middle is going to be your servo reversing. And so if you want to steer opposite, I guess, I really don't think anyone's going to do that. And there is the A and B. I have no clue what that is. It's not listed here. It says channel 3 button. So we're going to test what that is when we're out there. So we're just going to test that. All right, so the body does have to go on back first because of the nuts on top of the shock tower for the rear shocks. These clips do not go on easy at all. But in the end, that's probably for the best. So the power is definitely there. Definitely there. I'm just still so surprised about this servo. Really quick donuts. Do a test did with all the other cars. Right over. Went over a little bit more aggressive. Ooh. It's really stable. A lot of power. I think the braking's a little bit weak, but you can't adjust that. And a lot of people say this car was a little bit quiet, and maybe it's just that we're on road and the sound of the tires are louder on road, but it does not sound quiet at all. It wobbles a little bit at high speed, but like most cars do. All right, so one thing to note, the AVC ST rate is pretty much TSM for our Traxxas fans. You want to turn that down when you're running on anything besides dirt, because that will give you wobble. And the AVC actually is pretty good. It is really responsive. Yeah, once we get on dirt, I'll turn that back on, but for now, it's best to keep that off. See in a straight line. Tends to glide a little bit more, but you can definitely keep it straight. I really want to test the brake real quick. I'm gonna go full throttle for 2 seconds and then full brake. All right, 1, 2. Ooh. I think it probably stayed at 5 miles an hour for a full 10 feet. It's like it doesn't want to stop. It keeps, like, look. Like it keeps a little bit of speed for an extra 10 feet. All right, so we're gonna do a few jumps just to check it out. Now, obviously, this isn't a rant that's gonna give us a bunch of air, but it's just check how it acts in the air. It does correct itself pretty good. Only takes a little tap of the throttle, and this is grass, so it's kind of hard to line yourself up for a jump. All right, so we're gonna do a little bit more air, see how it does. I'm gonna have to try not to hit the street on the other side. Well, I did exactly what I was trying not to do, but it took it, and I do want to point out, it is supposed to take that. I've seen people send this car 20 feet in the air on cement repeatedly. Obviously, I'm never going to do that, but it's supposed to take it. All right, so we were about to do the outro, and I realized I lost steering for a little bit. Turned the car off, turn it back on. Steering seems to be fine again. Kind of reminds me of the E-Revo. I don't know exactly why. We're gonna get all that checked out. We're gonna go through all the manuals like we do for our other our Traxxas cars. So We're gonna get really knowledge over the Arrmas. All right, so for initial thoughts, this is definitely my most powerful car. It probably was the E-Revo, the Max, but everything about this car reminds me of the Sledge. It just does. It's quick throttle, it's quick acceleration, it's just how it feels. The only weak point I see is going to be the braking. Like if you were to drift around a corner and brake, you can't just come to a complete stop to do a quick corner. But the servo, it looks like we already upgraded a $300 servo into this. It's just crazy how this is the stock servo for a car. So now I'm gonna give the remote over to Bandit because he does have the Sledge and he's gonna compare the two.
Wow.
Yep.
That feels like the servo we just put in the Sledge. Man, it sounds mean.
It does.
It's a little slick out here. I don't know.
Is that little
okay, I just
little
left,
Hellcat sound?
I just left the burnout. Okay, it does sound fast. It does feel fast. Ooh, I can tell you around that. That's hard to control with these tires.
It is.
It slides. A lot of acceleration. Well, I guess there's one way to find out. All right. I guess that's one way to find out. We gotta verse them. I think we need to verse them, guys.
All right, so that was the Kraton 6S EXB. We have a lot more videos. We are going to do the first bash, and we are not gonna take it easy on this car at all. We're really gonna put it to a test because this is said to be a really strong car, and we are going to test that. Then we have the Sledge. We have to have versus two. They are so similar in their power and how they handle. We're gonna see which one is better. We're also gonna compare it to the Max and even the X Max. I believe this could make the X Max have to struggle a little bit. So we're gonna see how those two compare. I am gonna be running this in the Clash, probably event 6. So if you guys like this video, make sure to like and subscribe. See you guys next video.